Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff Veale from the Philippines again. I've got another special guest on Stars on Spotlight. Speaking of Stars on Spotlight, guys, you too could be a star. Imagine $30,000 for a TV ad. 10 radio spots are going to cost you between $3,000 and $5,000. We'll put you across Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and of course, YouTube with all your social media channels. We'll put you in thousands of people across the world, right? Come on and be a star on our spotlight, guys. Love to have you. I've got a very special guest today, a very, very interesting man. And his name is Mr. 𝗷𝗏𝗏 𝗏. And Albert is the CEO of Cash Injection Specialists. And I'll tell you a bit more about that later. He does two things. He's a tax expert. So if you've got any problems regarding your tax, if the IRS is chasing you, he's a man to help you fix it. And he's also a business coach with a mere 40 years experience, just 40 years, guys. So he might know a bit. Remember, guys, you don't know what you don't know. So why not reach out for a chat? He's been in the industry for 40 odd years. He assists business owners in boosting their profits through straightforward accounting and marketing practices. His system, perfected over nearly 40 years, has benefited more than, ready guys, 150,000 people. So do you want to be 150,001? Reach out to him. From various industries, from child actors to truck drivers, guys. So he knows it all. And, guys, why give your mate of a tax man? Speak to Albert and he'll legally show you ways to reduce your tax. Legally. Nothing, no pie in the sky shit here, just the real deal. Right? Key achievements and personal motto, elevating clients' profits to unlock their dream potential. And don't we all need that, guys? When he's off the clock, he's either at Disney World, I like that, or tailgating at the University of Miami football games. So it's my great pleasure to introduce 𝗷𝗏𝗏 𝗏. Good evening, Albert.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. It was amazing. First thing I would always like to say is people need to show up to go forward. We just met a couple of weeks ago at an event online. So I will always tell people is you got to show up, and when you show up, good things will happen.
That's it. You'll find your avatar out there, guys. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your career path. Where did it all start?
Well, I have the funniest story ever. I was working, couldn't get a job. I was working in my parents' motel business in 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐬, Florida. Until one day, my mother says, Albert, yeah, Albert, get your checkbook. I go, why, Mom? Because I owe the IRS. They go, huh? Yeah, you owe the IRS. I go, huh? So that put me on the journey to figure out why I had to owe, and that was 40 years ago. And since then, I figured I got to help other people do it. But that was how I got started, all because of one moment in time, things changed.
Interesting. And you saw the opportunity, obviously.
Yeah.
What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome all that over the years?
I mean, the always challenges is growing. Things is always going to happen. Figuring out how to get clients into the office has always been a challenge. The good thing is I've never stopped. I mean, we were getting clients by this thing called fax machines. Okay.
Back in the day. Yeah.
I know that's old. So when COVID came, it didn't slow us down because people were scared to come in. They just started emailing and faxing me. But I think the biggest thing that you want to know, the one tip, Mr. Jeff, that you can always get clients, it's not going to cost you zero.
Absolutely.
You know what it is? You treat everybody like family. You treat everybody like family, they're never going to forget you. They're going to come. It's always because they're going to come because you treat them right. It's like the one, and here's the best story that explained this ever in my life, ever. So this was a few years ago now, and she's still my cousin. So Anna, she told me she missed a year, and she comes in, hey, you missed a year, how come? So she told me the reason. She says, well, it was raining. It was April 15th, and she lives about 30 minutes away. So she went to some Indian guy, she told me. So I'm not trying to think. So she had two kids crying and screaming. The Indian guy sent her out, said, when the kids stop crying, come home, come back. And so next she goes, Corey, you never did that when my kids cried. you gave them crayons to draw on your wall, and your mom and your daughter would go take them. You had toys and everything to make me feel happy and comfortable, so I could do my stuff. So that's the key to success: is make people family and friends, and they'll always come back.
I think you've learned a lot from Disneyland and their ethics, right?
Oh
Disneyland,
yeah.
they do it so well, right? They
Oh
do
yeah.
it. They've got a system, guys, and Albert will tell you later, guys. It's all about building a system. Like guys, McDonald's have got 15-year-old kids running a multi-million-dollar McDonald's, and that same kids won't clean their bedroom. So there you go.
Right.
It's all about systems. Can you tell me an important moment in your career that pretty much changed the direction in which you were going?
Well, another direction in the career, which was pretty crazy. So I'm working at H&R Block until somebody comes up to the window and says, will you come to my house to do a tax return? And by the way, then, I'm doing a couple of friends and family, nothing big,
Yeah.
but I'm working at Block. And then somebody, will you come to my house? And the manager says $500.
Wow.
Remember, this is 1985. So
Wow.
this is heavy money. So I go home. We're Lebanese. I get in after the shift, I go home, rushed up the stairs and tell my dad, Dad, we're going to be rich. We're going to do tax returns. Now, mind you, we're from a Lebanese family. And Mr. Jeff, what do you think my Papa Joe Corey told me?
No idea.
This is a PG audience, but he said, you're dumb, blankety blank. You're dumb, you're stupid. And she put it in other words in English and Arabic. I'm not at the bank, and nobody's ever gonna effing go to you.
Yes.
And and that was the beginnings. Then I had to figure it out.
That was your motivational talk, right?
That was my motivation, that I better start figuring it out. And we did. I mean, we started making remember, this was in 85. So I started using the joke I talked to people on stages. I used a Barney Rubble system of marketing.
Mm.
You know what that is?
No.
Passing out flyers, right foot, left foot. Get it? Passing out flyers.
Yep. Yeah.
And so we would go to Office Depot. I learned that you take one sheet of paper, right? And you keep cutting it until you put 4 on a page.
Yes.
You then run off 100 sheets and you cut them, and that's 400 flyers. So wonderful. I do it on Saturday night before Office Depot closed. Sunday morning, we would pass them out. I would get, my dad would drive me. We'd go to all the condos in the neighborhood, and I'd go door to door, put them on cars.
Fantastic.
I got kicked out of the best condos in Hialeah, Florida.
Yeah, I'd go to the local Walmart and put them on the window screens.
We did that.
In fact, like you learn, guys. As you get older, you learn. You outsource it. You pay some other people to do it for you while you do what you like doing.
Right, but back in the day, there was no outsourcing it.
Yeah, correct.
Then we figured out that we'd go to the grocery stores instead of going down to
love that.
To the apartment buildings. You go to, I knew never to go to houses because you'd have to walk too far. So to go to the biggest apartment buildings or condos. And you can do 500 flyers right away because all the cars are together.
In and out,
going boom, boom, boom on the windshield.
Yeah, lovely.
And that's how we got it going 40 years ago.
Funny enough, guys, I still use, people laugh at me, I use double-sided, beautiful color postcards all the time. Every month in different areas, I test and measure. I put a special phone number so I know exactly how many clients I get from it. And you might only get 3 or 4%, guys, but you put out 1,000 postcards for a couple of $100 and you get 3 clients at $1,000 each. It's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, I should be doing more of it, right?
Can I tell you another better one than that real quick? I know you're running out of time.
No problem.
This is the dumbest thing. Not dumb, how the world has gotten crazy. Think about this. You can get a box of business cards in Miami color, 4x4 color for now inflation $80, 1,000.
1,000 cards, unbelievable.
1,000 cards, right?
Yeah.
So you would go around, these new kids would say, oh no, you go do digital cards. Oh, okay, right. Fine. Oh, no more real cards. I go, okay. So here's the question. You just said it. So if I box of cards and these are, you know, okay cards. If you want to be cheap and get them from Vista, that's one thing. So you
Yep.
can get 100 cards if you're really poor from Office Depot for $20, plain white. But if that's all you can afford, $20.
To start. Yep.
So if you can get one client, one, I'll
no-brainer.
guarantee you, Mr. Jeff, you're making more than the inflation, $30 box of white cards.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're a realtor, $80.
Yeah.
You can get one client, I'll guarantee you paid for the whole box. And a lot of people say, oh, business cards don't work.
Well, let me tell
I
you
go,
something,
okay.
guys. My first book ever, and Albert's a big book reader as well. We like simple books. We discussed that earlier. The first book I ever bought, guys, suited me down to the ground. I was walking past a bookshop, and in the window, it just came out, The Lazy Man's Way to Riches by 𝐒𝐭𝐫𝐿. And
Right.
it was mainly back in the day, long before internet, guys, even before color TV, right, and mobile phones. I'm an old man. And one of the things he used to do, it was basically back in the day, it was all mail order, which you can do online now,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. You can get that book and apply that book and do mail order online through Amazon, etc. However, one of the crazy things he did, he bought a box of business cards. Are you ready? He went to the football, and when one of the teams scored a goal, he threw 500 business cards up in the air. And people thought he was absolutely crazy, but they landed somewhere, and 4 or 5 people probably picked them up and rang him. So
Right.
he was making money while he was at the football because he's prepared to throw away $10 or $20 worth of business cards. Guys, there's some crazy stuff out there, and that's one of the ones I've always remembered.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, you know, and he followed up his clients. You know, he'd go, you know, if you're a Scorpio, everyone's got a star sign. So he'd have a database. He'd have broken down to 12. He'd have happy birthday, Scorpio, because he knew that month was your birthday, and you felt good. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. You know, blah blah blah. So 12 times a year, you'd get a message from him about your birthday, and you thought, hey, he knew your birthday. He just knew you were a Scorpio. Whatever. Let's move on. In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that have contributed to your success? I can tell what they are myself, but go ahead and tell the audience.
I think one of them is, you know, you treat everybody as, whether you're staff or people. I don't think everybody in my office is that call me Mr. or the boss. I mean, you know,
Yep.
always by my first name, never. You treat people nice. You also got to be, in this day, you got to be able, I mean, I was just talking to somebody earlier, you got to be able to go on Facebook and Instagram and push a button. I mean, I could tell you the days. I mean, I could tell you some crazy stories. One of them, you remember this guy called Grant Cardone?
Absolutely.
Okay, so back in the day, this is before I really got started, everything else. He had a Facebook group. I was a 10X ambassador. He had 20,000 people.
Wow.
So you know what I would do twice a week? I'd go on his group and do a Facebook Live. Now you can't do it and give people business tips.
Fantastic.
And it worked, and I got a couple of clients out of it, and they're still with me. And what did it cost, Mr. Jeff? Zero.
A little bit of time. That's right. And basically, guys, what Albert's saying here is give value. Don't take, give.
Right.
Give value, give value, give value, and treat people the way you want to be treated and give them a memorable experience. Pretty straight. And by the way, guys, we cover this, Albert and I, in common sense marketing. So if you want a bit of common sense marketing, reach out to either myself or Albert, and we can talk underwater, both of us. We've been around for a long time, guys. And when you're around for a long time, you get very, very good at it. And we tell you, we don't know it all, but hey, if we don't know it, we might know someone who does. Guys, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field, Albert? What's your secret?
I think the secret is you gotta watch a lot of YouTube video and do a lot of events, especially online. Since there's so many online events, stop watching Netflix and watch paid YouTube and start watching stuff that gonna move you forward. Two, when you go to an event, first thing you gotta do is you gotta go VIP.
Yep.
Always go VIP because you're at the top of the line, and the promoters will always notice the people went VIP, not the people at the back of the bus.
I love that one. Love that. Very great tip. Guys, one of my tips in life is this, and Albert will love this. I tell people all the time, it's only twice as much to go first class in life. So go first class, guys. That was a great tip from Albert, a great tip. Go VIP, guys. You will be noticed. And another thing is, guys, if you go and have cheap drinks, guess what? You'll meet cheap people. Go to a five-star hotel and have expensive drinks, and you'll meet expensive people. So if you want to hang out with the right crowd, go to the right places, guys. Don't go and have cheap drinks. If you're going to have cheap drinks, you'll get cheap. Moving on. Tell me a decent project or an achievement that you're particularly proud of, Albert. I know you've got so many, but tell me one or two in particular.
Obviously, all my kids never got into trouble. Great kids working with me. But I think one of my biggest achievements, I thought, last or maybe 2 years ago, I spoke in front of 310 people in Vegas.
Fantastic. How cool is that?
Yep.
And what advice would you give someone who aspires to follow in your footsteps?
I'd say, dude, you're going to hit so many brick walls. You just got to stay motivated. What is your why to keep climbing when shit is going to hit the fan? You're going to hit so many brick walls. But you know what's funny, Jeff? The trick is on the brick walls. I thank God for everybody who stole my money in my life.
Yeah, true.
Business. You know why? Because every time these people I took classes, they took my money, I want to figure out what to do. And we're probably here today because, I go to somebody, to somebody, to somebody. Even Eric, who we met just recently, I didn't talk to him for years. We ran into him someplace. He goes, oh, come on Thursday nights. And now we're here.
Correct. Yeah, it works. I'll wrap this up. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You're not going to stop, obviously. What are your goals and aspirations?
I think my goals is to start helping 1,000 business owners to achieve the profits of their dreams so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
See, I'm so, it's like, since I've been on my own for 40 years, 34 years since we've been married, that you got to start being on your own. Okay. So that if, it's like I told you the story, my son who works for someplace, he couldn't get home. So he goes, can you watch the baby until I got home? My little granddaughter, my wife, since we're free. Okay, fine. I'll be right over. So you got to go become financial free so you can do whatever you want in life.
Tell me,
nothing's going to stop you to do whatever you have to do or any vacation you want.
Lovely. What are the three F's, Albert? Someone told you this earlier. What are the three F's?
Oh, shoot. I didn't write them down. Family, faith, fun, and
he's nearly there, guys, but he's added a couple. I might make it the 5 F's.
Family, friend, fun,
and the big one, freedom, guys.
Freedom. Oh, I said it. I'm sorry.
Freedom, guys. So it's about 3 things, guys. It's about more, but family, friends, freedom. So look after your family, look after your friends, and have freedom, guys. Don't get a job. You know what a job is, guys? Just on broke. You're living from paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to do that. Get off your ass, do something, and you may fail. How many times does a baby fall down? Do they stay down? Of course not. They get up and go again. So think like a baby, guys. Get up and go again.
Or can I add something else to that real quick?
Sure, please.
Even if you can't quit your job now, how come you're not dreaming? How come you're not scheming to the day that you can make the jump? See, the problem is they're not dreaming.
That's right.
To figure out when can I make the jump.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget, readers are leaders. And speaking of this, Albert, we're going to wrap it up now. How can our listeners reach out and find out more about you, please?
Okay, well, you can take did I point right? Yes.
Yep.
Oh, this one. You can scan the code here.
Fantastic.
And you get everything about Albert at 𝐻𝐻𝐶360.
Love it.
And I tell you what, when you show up there, anybody who signs up, you're going to get my little book that says Cash Injection System, 7 ways to increase your profits with less stress and capital. That's 𝐻𝐻𝐶360.com.
What a fabulous offer. Now, by the way, guys, this will be up on YouTube. Don't forget to like and share this. And this is a very interesting man. So share this with your friends, because Albert is a wealth of knowledge, and it can help you save money on your taxes, help you grow your business, and help you in life, right? So Albert, you've been a wonderful guest today. Thanks very much for coming along.
Thank you.